Hi there, my name is Fox and welcome to Heroes of Might and Magic 2. This is the FHeroes edition. Today we are on to Scenario 7 of the Archibald campaign. You may say to yourself, if you've been paying attention, Fox, we actually have the choice. We don't have to do Scenario 7 if we don't want to. We can bypass that and go directly to Scenario 8. Why are you so confident that we're going to not have a choice between Scenario 7 and Scenario 8? Well, it's because I'm the one calling the shots here. And Scenario 7 is too juicy to pass up. We will talk about Scenario 8 next time, but without a doubt, we are going to be talking about Scenario 7 and Scenario 7 only today. Let's dive right into the intro.
Your punishment of the peasants was inspiring. An exemplary job. Our next move is to conquer the rural lords near Roland's castle. While these lords can be defeated using conventional methods, it is the firm opinion of my chief warlock advisor that the aid of the Dragon King would be an effective weapon against our enemies. Unfortunately, the Dragon King will not help us voluntarily. What is your counsel, my general? Shall we launch an immediate attack against Roland's vassals, or shall we first conquer the dragons?
Are you kidding me? Oh Lord, what is your counsel? Yeah, let me tell you really quickly. We could totally fight Roland with sticks and stones, which pretty much, if you stop and think about it, that's what the barbarians do. Sticks and stones. Or, we could spend a little bit of time and pick up the most powerful unit in the game and absolutely obliterate the enemy. I don't know exactly what the award will be for completing Scenario 7, but I think it's going to be worth it. And as far as cost-benefit analysis, the only thing that it costs us to go out of our way and to do this bonus scenario is up here in the upper right, days spent. Right now we are at 144 days spent. Of course, doing one whole extra scenario will cost us some time, but what does that really matter? All it does is that final day spent impacts our final score at the end of the campaign. I am not particularly worried about that. I think that we're going to have a mighty fine score regardless. So let's work on some dragons. Let's read this. Scenario 7, Dragon Master. There are two enemies allied against you in this mission. Both are well armed and seek to evict you from their island. Avoid them and capture Dragon City to win. We have the Ogre Alliance, where ogres and ogre lords will join our forces, and then the Dwarf Bane, where dwarves and battle dwarves will always run away from any of our armies. And now we have a choice between Necromancer faction, warlocks, and barbarians. And I've decided I want to do something a little different. I want to have it a little bit more random. Perhaps you don't like the choices that I make as far as which faction we start off with. And I want to be as unbiased as possible. I would have no problem playing whatever hand is dealt to me. But how do I do that fairly? Well, I spent a little time, I created something a little bit fun, and essentially what we came up with was a dice roll. So, as you can see, the dice will automatically roll, and the way that we will do it is Necromancers will be a 1 or a 2. The second option for Warlocks will be a dice roll of a 3 or a 4, and the Barbarian choice will be a dice roll of a 5 or a 6. So, with that being said, let us roll. And we roll a 1. Folks, that means that we are locked and loaded. We are going in for these Necromancers. So, let's make sure our difficulty is on hard, and let's dive in. Your arrival here was a surprise to those sworn to guard Dragon Isle, and you were able to quickly capture one of their castles. Use caution, though, for 2 other guardians remain in this jungle. Alright, so we start off with our Necromancer town, Night Shadow. We have Zom, not Zam, the Necromancer. He starts off at level 5, and we have Basic Necromancy, Basic Wisdom, Advanced Ballistics, and Advanced Eagle Eye. And I'm wondering if these secondary skills were just rolled at random because Zom has 4 additional spots for secondary skills. It looks like 2 points went into Ballistics and 2 points went into Eagle Eye. I don't know if he was set up with these regardless or if that was just a choice that fell into his lap. We start off with Haste in our spellbook. We start off with 8 Vampire Lords, which is terrific. 18 Royal Mummies and 50 Skeletons. Let's see about our main town. Ooh. So unfortunately we are starting with just the excavation site. There is not a whole lot else going on here. 5,000 gold, 2 of each of the precious resources, and 10 of the non-precious resources, the wood and the ore. And if I noticed correctly, there's a boat right here. I don't know what to make of that. I don't know if there's going to be a lot of water or if there's going to be a little bit of water, but anytime I see a boat right next to my main town and I see the option to build a shipyard, I'm guessing that there's going to be some amount of water that's going to be pretty important for this map. So let's keep that in mind as we're moving forward here. For our first purchase, I can tell you I'm for sure going to get a second hero. And because I'm going to get a second hero, and I think I have an already pretty good standing army here with Zom, I'm going to get the Mage Guild. He already starts with haste, and now we'll also have Bloodlust, Dispel Magic, and View Mines. We'll cast View Mines as soon as we walk out of our main town. We will pick up these skeletons, and we will take one step out of our castle while we... Oh dear. That's a tactical error. I really want to buy my second hero today, but I was over enthusiastic and I spent too much gold. I started out with 5,000 gold. I now have 2,400 gold. I will have to buy Sandro turn 1 next go around. So I imagine Sandro will wander across this road here. I'm going to forego going into the boat. I see a sawmill here. I want to get this sawmill. Battle Dwarves, that's nice to know that we're not going to have to fight that fight. The Dwarfbane, run for your lives. Too easy, too easy. I know that I'm level 5. And this ratio is looking really good. 1,500 experience points. That's really good. But if I can get my second hero on turn 1, I think that'll be even better. Plus, I'm already so low anyway. I think that I will always take the second hero in this case. I am going to leave the mutant zombies at home. And rather than going to the boat, generally I like to travel on roads because you can get more bang out of your buck for your movement points. And immediately that becomes clear that my choice was going to be made for me with this observation tower. Buckle up. Every single time I find an observation tower, I spend at least 2 minutes analyzing what we can discern through the darkness. And I can tell you right now that nothing is jumping off the page at me. Bottle here. Ogres here. Wow. Ogre, and a hill fort. Ogres here. So we have a tremendous amount of ready-made troops. Ogres here. Dwarves. Dwarves. I don't see any more dwarves. But we've got some options here. And the one thing that's kind of sticking in my craw is this. Both of my allied enemies are well armed and they seek to evict me. Avoid them and capture Dragon City to win. Does that mean that I'm going to be facing impossible odds? And I don't know the answer. If they are absolutely impossible odds, will 5 stacks of ogres who could become Ogre Lords, is that going to be enough to keep me alive and help me move through this scenario? I don't know. We're going to have to wait and find out. But for now, I don't think it's a bad idea at all, just so I can clear the immediate area to start working on some of these ogres. I'm not worried about lots of iron golems with Zom as my main hero, but any additional troops he can get, more than just the vampires, the mummies, and the skeletons, will be nice. So let's send Sandro, instead of going down the road any further, let's go get our ore mine, because ore and wood are always critically important. Let's get the ore mine, and let's go on to turn 2, on to day 2. Picking up our sawmill. Do I want to path into these ogres? That's going to take 3 turns. That's a long time. Whereas I've got ogres here, and I can potentially pick them up, make them Ogre Lords, and then go down much quicker than I can go all the way around anyway. Let's head back to the main road, and then I'll decide if I want to go west or east in just a second. I'll wait on that decision for just one moment. Let's have Sandro run into these ogres. The ogres recognize me as the Dwarfbane and lumber over to join me. Yes, yes, wonderful, wonderful. And actually, I'm going to Try and pick up this ore mine as quickly as possible. I don't know if Zom is going to want to go out of his way for that treasure chest. And even if he does, it might be 1,000 gold or 500 experience, and I'll take the gold anyway. I'm so low on gold, I'll probably take the gold anyway. I'll probably just pick it up as soon as I can. Let's get the graveyard. I just realized I'm a little bit on autopilot there. Given that I was already so low on resources, I almost didn't pick up Sandro on day one. I should probably have thought about that purchase a little bit more, because that 1,000 gold, maybe I need something else as far as turn order goes to really press forward. I will be getting ore, I will be getting wood, and so I should be able to get the pyramid and the mansion without too much grief. But I'm also going to need the Thieves Guild to get the mansion. I'll probably end up getting the pyramid first. But in the meantime, let's pick up our statue, and then we will pick up our well. Let's pick up these kind of more peripheral buildings until we can afford the big ticket items. We'll take the 1,000 gold. And Sandro is not going to be able to get back to Zom. I don't think I'm going to need those 13 Ogre Lords to beat this battle, though, and I do want to spring these Ogres, plus that Shrine of the First Circle. Perhaps I'll drop off troops after we defeat these Iron Golems, and then we will be able to travel down the road, maybe pick up these Ogre Lords in just a second with Sandro. I'm not going to fly across the map. I'm going to make the Iron Golems come to me. I have plenty of I have plenty of knowledge, so I can cast many spells, but the duration of my spells, especially my buffing spells, my utility spells, they are not going to stick around for too long. So I'm not going to cast a spell now. I will wait. But now I'm going to start casting Bloodlusts. And who would be the best? Because this should increase attack skill by 3. Knowing that the Iron Golems have a defense skill of 10, the Royal Mummies will be doing reduced damage, as will the Skeletons. The Vampire Lords will be at even. This larger stack of Skeletons will probably do more damage than these 18 Royal Mummies, but these 18 Royal Mummies will hopefully be the ones to take the first retaliation, because they are hardier than the Skeletons. So we're going to wait one more turn with all of our troops here, so that way I can get another Bloodlust off on these Skeletons before we attack. And then let's press forward. There's 2. There's 1. There's 4. There's 10 skeletons. So already I think I've done worse than I did prior. I suppose I could have done it to where my Vampire Lords just took the fight by themselves. Perhaps that was a missed opportunity to be very strategic and allow the troops that are going to regenerate to simply win the fight through attrition without having to worry me for losing other troops. I should have done that. When I talk about the power and the value of Vampire Lords, that's the exact fight that I need to be discussing with anybody, because I could have lost 0 skeletons. The Vampire Lords could have probably mixed it up and won that fight without any casualties by themselves. I did not give them the opportunity. I got distracted. One thing to note is we have orange. So we have our first enemy hero that we see. A horde of centaurs, that's between 50 to 100 centaurs, a pack of Minotaur Kings, a pack of gargoyles, a few griffins, and a few green dragons. A few could be anywhere between 1 and 4, as far as I'm concerned. If it's 4 green dragons, if it's 3 green dragons, that's pretty tough. That's pretty tough. What I'm thinking here is this, is if they go down and they clear out these pack of ogres, that'll be a huge loss for me. That'll be a terrifically huge loss for me. Sure, if they're in my army versus in someone else's army, you know, what's the difference? Hopefully they'll still take some losses. Well, yeah, sure, of course, but I have the modifier for the attack skill. I can support them with spells, and of course, if you're able to focus in on one stack of enemy creatures, you're going to get a lot further than if you have swarms attacking you and supporting creatures like 50 skeletons, 18 royal mummies, and 8 vampire lords. I don't know if I can take this fight, especially on the strength of those centaurs. I'm a little bit concerned. And again, I don't know how many green dragons that is. Let's try and get these packs of ogres as quickly as possible and go from there. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, by going north, that clears my mind so much. That helps a lot. But one thing I didn't mention is we have a road here, which it looks like Castor came north to south on. Then my town is here, but I can see just right here, heading off into the fog of war, this unexplored, uncharted territory, I can see that the road is going that way. Are all 3 castles, mine and then both of the 2 enemies, connected by this road? I'm guessing so. I'm guessing so. So, let's see if we can... Yep, we'll drop off all these units. I don't think it matters. Oops. I'm going to save 1 skeleton, and I'm going to send all of the ogres over. I'm going to save the 1 skeleton and let Sandro go up the road here. I hope I didn't just... Oh, I blocked that off, so hopefully I can pick up these ogres. 36. I think I had 13 at first, and now I have 36. That's terrific. Plus the 1 mercury. And then I might have boxed myself in. That's the last of my movement points anyway. We'll call it okay. So I have, right now, 2 wood per day, 2 ore per day, 1 mercury per day. I might as well get... Let's get the well. We're going to need to get that week 1 anyway. Let's get the well, and then we'll figure out what our next purchase is next time. Kick the can down the road a little bit, as we say. And I suppose it's worth asking the question, is it a bad idea to kick the can down the road? Is it a bad idea to wait to make a decision until later? I think not. And for this reason. When you let the game develop, that's a tough one. Advanced Wisdom or the Necromancy. I think we absolutely take the Necromancy because I have a level 1 Mage Guild. And I'm not getting a level 2, 3, or 4 Mage Guild anytime soon. I think that kicking the can down the road is not a bad thing. As you let the game develop, you allow the opponents to kind of dictate the flow and to kind of more or less take what the enemy gives you. The concept of don't try and force anything, take the game as it comes, I think is always a good idea. I'm going to move this far and I'll take the gold. I really wish I'd actually given that over to Zom. 1500 experience would have been very nice. But we take our prize. 36 up to 51. 51 up to 63. Terrific. And now, all of the ogres you have in your army have been trained by the battle masters of the fort. Your army now contains Ogre Lords. Terrific. I know that there's an enemy up to the north. Last game, it was noteworthy to me that I made a tactical error. I still won. It was fine. But I made a tactical error, and this is what it was. I focused on getting resource generating mines, sawmills, so that way I could build up my main town. But by doing that, I really shot myself in the foot when the goal was get as big of a pack of skeletons as possible and then just absolutely overwhelm the enemy. Why work so hard on building up everything you have unless you really need to, is kind of the idea. I wonder if off the strength of 63 Ogre Lords, is that enough? Is that enough that I need to be thinking in those terms? Or should I really, be deviating and making sure I get this sulfur mine, making sure I get this crystal mine? I'm going to do that right now because that makes the most sense to me. But I don't think that there's any guarantees. I don't think I have enough information right now to really be making the best decision possible. The mansion will be my next purchase, and I should be able to get that next turn. 3,000 gold and the 10 wood. I'll have the 10 wood next turn, and I'll purchase that on day 7, but let's get our mummies now. And then I have 6,700 gold. I want to actually pick up Vitania. And you're saying to yourself, why are you picking up Vitania? Well, let me tell you. We're going to pick up Vitania because she has navigation. I guess I clicked on wisdom. She has navigation, 66 additional movement points by water. I'm not sure if Zom started off with... Oh, he did not. Never mind. My apologies. For some reason, I thought that Zom had started off with navigation. Anyway, I see a boat. I want to get in the boat because I don't know how much water map there is to be explored. There looks like there's plenty of resources in here. I might as well take what I can get. And since I have a sorceress in week 1, I might as well do that. I think that if I didn't have a sorceress available to me with that additional 66% movement points on water, I might not have made this purchase. But because I did see her in my options, I will do that instead. Ruby as a secondary hero. Castor had a full warlock town, correct? And so here we see archers, peasants, which I assume Ruby just came with. But then I also see griffins. Okay, so that indicates warlock town. But then lots of goblins. Maybe there's a goblin hut. Maybe they picked up a neutral creature dwelling. Much like this halfling hole for the halflings. Maybe they picked up lots of goblins in that way. I'm not sure. I'm not going to go anywhere near this army. I don't want her to make just a beeline for Sandro. It doesn't matter to me if Sandro picks up this fort. 700, 800 gold for the possibility of getting absolutely demolished. That doesn't make sense to me. Same goes for the Mercury. Same goes for the gazebo. Let's have Sandro be Zom's shadow as we try and push forward. I think I'll take actually a fair amount of losses in this fight. I should have split my Vampire Lords, but I didn't. So I'm going to not pursue these Grand Elves. I will pick up the 1500. Now we'll take the Wisdom. I feel okay with my gold income coming in right now, unless I find out later that I really need to focus on purchasing some high value troops, like Bone Dragons or something else. The mummies, awed by the power of your forces, begin to scatter. Do I wish to pursue them and engage them? I do. I think that it's worth the free 325 experience and 2 skeletons. Really, though, I'm mostly here for this pack of ogres. That seems like the best thing for me. Look real quick. 2,500 points of movement for Vitania. That is terrific. I love seeing a full yellow bar and then pluses. So let's see how far this takes us. Plus 10 wood, 500 gold. I think that alone is worth purchasing this extra hero. That extra 10 wood, it feels like I've been needing that quite a bit. I pulled a shipwrecked survivor from a certain death in an unforgiving ocean. Grateful, he rewards me for my act of kindness by giving me the Statesman Quill. That reduces the cost of surrendering down to only 10%. Very good. It lets you be very aggressive in your pushes into the uncharted territory, into the unknown. And if you run into trouble, just surrender, take the small loss in gold, and rehire that hero the next day. I'm not sure what we need to do there. Oh my goodness, I think I forgot something. I had View Minds and I never cast it. Let's cast that now. Aha! This gives us some good information. Okay, so we knew Orange was kind of in this, you know, kind of 12 o'clock position, 1 o'clock position, maybe somewhere in there. Maybe he's more in the 11 o'clock position, but they're picking up a couple of mines here. They're flagging those. But now, in the 7 o'clock position, we also have yellow flagging a gem mine and Mercury. It doesn't look like they're moving too quickly with that per se, but it looks like we have a decent smattering of maps all around. Okay, that is good information to know. I'm happy that we spent the spell points to do that. It is day 7. Ooh. Do we purchase the mansion or do we purchase the mausoleum? The mansion will be very expensive to upgrade into the upgraded version of the mansion. But because I already start off with 8 Vampire Lords, does that mean I should lean into getting my shooters and my liches? Or does that mean I should try and bolster that army of Vampire Lords and trying to rush into additional Vampire Lords as supplied by my town Night Shadow? I think I'm actually going to take the mausoleum here. I think that there's a little bit more flexibility, and I don't plan on upgrading either of these anytime soon. This is an example of a time that if I'd known this, I might have rethought getting the statue. If I had spaced out exactly how many turns it would take for me to, you know, come to this potential choice where it's day 7 and I want the additional troops tomorrow, I probably would have foregone the statue just so I wouldn't have run across this decision. I would rather have vampires and liches than have, what is that, 250 gold times 6? 1,500 more. Anyway. Let's take the liches though. Very expensive. I only have 2,000 gold left. And then the upgrade is actually not going to be that bad. It won't be that bad. I just don't love upgrading liches into power liches. We'll find out. We'll see. But otherwise, that's our turn. Let's go on to day 1. Astrologers proclaim the week of the rabbit. All dwellings increase in population. Let's pick up our ogres. That's an extra 15 ogres. Shrine of the Second Circle. Disrupting Ray. Terrific. I don't think I'm going to go down and get this treasure chest. I'm a little worried about the activity I've seen over here. There's Castor. He's taken some losses. Oh, he's taken some losses. That bodes well for me. That makes me think that he's only got, you know, 1 or 2 dragons. Because if he's taken some losses like that, yeah, I think that we can plan on him having had some issues with some neutral creatures. Pick up this crystal, pick up that mercury. And I don't think that gazebo, I think that gazebo is a little too far out of the way for me. I really want to make sure I get to the safety of my road, and I'm traveling very slowly because I'll have these new ogres. Please excuse me, it is cold and flu season, and I have got it. But I thought to myself, does that mean I should just not record? Does that mean I should wait? I've decided to press on. I will do my best to minimize the annoying sounds. After spending hours trying to fish the chest out of the sea, you open it and find 1,000 gold and the Medal of Valor. Medal of Valor is +1 to morale. I like this. I like this artifact. Both of these artifacts I found on the high seas are great. Being aggressive into the uncharted territory, into the fog of war, and then having morale. Why for the Necromancer army? Because these ogres are terrific, and I want to make sure that they keep on going without any issues. I think there's a part of me that wants to land and get this ice cloak. This is reduces enemy cold damage by 50%. There's a part of me that wants to land and get this artifact. The dwarves will run, so this army can take that. And I think I have time. I think it'll be worth it to me to do this. To land, pick up this artifact, pick up this campfire, mercury, sulfur mine, treasure, maybe treasure, wood, and then turn over these loose artifacts to a better hero. I think that's what we'll do. The Dwarfbane, run for your lives! Yes, it's me. Alright, let's pick up, without any further ado, let's pick up the mansion. Because I don't recall, I think it's 10 gems that it's going to take to upgrade it. 10 gems and 10 crystal. Wow, interesting. A lot of crystal to upgrade both of these buildings. But the gems are going to also take me a second. And I haven't seen a gem mine. I suppose that Sandro can always tell me where the closest gem mine is. It'll be indicated by a J. So it's here in the Fog of War, just to the very south. So right about here, there is a gem mine. Are there gems lying loose on the ground that I can pick up so I don't have to make that trek? I think not. And I don't see a trading post or anything like that either. I'd rather not trade a ton of resources just for that one strategic opportunity, especially because I'm still not sure which is better, ogres or building up my main town. I feel confident. In coming this close, because 78 Ogre Lords is so many Ogre Lords. That's just so many. I don't have any defense, right? I don't have any defense. I think if I move in this direction, if he wants to stay within attacking range of me, I will let him. I think that if he doesn't leave, I think I'm going to press my luck and I'm going to try and end Castor's run here. Let's take the gold. Gems, 5 gems. Very handy. That's 11 gems. Plus the wood. Wait. Okay, on the mini-map you can see that that's yellow. That this alchemist lab is yellow, and that was one of the 2 mines that had been flagged by yellow. I'm a little concerned about this. I don't want to lose Sandro needlessly. He may yet prove very useful. And plus, he can go and figure out what's over here, and he can figure out what's going on with that gem mine there. Maybe that gem mine is being guarded by dwarves. And if I send him over there, then we are in the driver's seat as far as choosing our own destiny. Responding to the panicked cries of a damsel in distress, you discover a young woman fleeing from a hungry bear. You slay the beast in the nick of time, and the grateful sorceress weaves a magic cloak from the bear's hide. And that halves all damage to my troops that we will take from cold spells. That'll be a cold ring, that'll be a cold bolt. You know what I'm talking about. It costs 6 mana points. What is that spell? I kind of want to get my mage guild just to find it, but that would be a bad decision. I'm feeling so good with having these vampire lords, and if I knew I'd be able to upgrade them that quick, I probably would have chosen more vampire lords on day 7 as opposed to liches. I only have 900 gold. I don't have much gold at all to my name. I wish I could do something where I have another hero purchased and then ferries troops over to Zom, but I just don't have the opportunity. I think this is going to be one of those times where this is the strongest I am. This is my advantage, and the longer I try and outdo the computer, the worse it will be for me. I cannot reach Castor regardless. Can I? Is there any clever pathing tricks I can use? No, there is not. There are no clever pathing tricks. So I think I will take one step out of the way so I can get to Ruby, but still pick up this +1 defense. Because when you're fighting... Oh no, that was 2... That was 1, 2 movement points out of the way. That was certainly my mistake. Okay. I'm still putting myself in a pretty good position. I don't know if the town is through this road or if the town is through that road. But I'm interested to see what Castor does at this point. The +1 defense, though, when you're fighting dragons, every little bit of bonus damage you can knock off their overall damage is well worth the time. That's potentially 10% less damage that we're going to take over a fight. The Dwarf Bane, run for your lives. I say potentially, but no, it really is. Do I have time to get this treasure chest? I think I do, because I need the gold. I'm so low on gold that every treasure chest will be valuable. Here's a question for you. Do I need this boat? Like, do I need this... There's a bottle right there. And I love bottles. I love bottles so much. I love bottles. I love signs. Do I need that boat? If I get this treasure chest and then I don't go this way, I won't get the wood. But then I'll be able to get my boat and bring my boat back. And then I'll just have more flexibility. I will forego the wood in order to have additional flexibility. Because I don't think I'm going to need a whole ton more wood. Yeah, for Mage Guild upgrades and for the lab and for the marketplace. But other than that, I don't think that's going to be very important to me. I think I wait on the upgraded pyramid. I think I have enough high-level troops I'm going to want to purchase. I wait on upgrading the mummies. If I need to upgrade them later, I will. But for now, I will wait on that. And I don't think there's any other purchases I must make now. Interesting. So I'm guessing that their town is here to the left. This is exactly what I would do, by the way, if I'm playing as a person against an enemy player. You have 2 heroes. They're right next to each other. You think that this enemy hero is very, very strong. What do? You split the heroes because you can't chase both of us. You got to pick one. You have to pick one. In this case, I'm probably going to pick Ruby because I don't want Ruby to get into my backline. I don't want her to threaten Sandro. I don't want her to threaten Britannia, and I definitely just don't want her to see my town. If she gets this observation tower, I'm going to be feeling very exposed. So I think that even though I think that this is an opportunity that I'm missing by not going after Castor, I think I'm going to take Ruby out now. It's the for sure fight anyway. And the enemy has fled. I'm not going to fight that fight. Oh! Guys! Ladies, gentlemen, it happened. It happened. Through eagle-eyed observation, Zom is able to learn the magic spell Lightning Bolt. It happened. The worst secondary skill in the game came in handy for me. I now have Lightning Bolt. On top of 17 skeletons, I now have Lightning Bolt copied into my spell book. Look at this. Look at this. Which is hilarious because I believe that it does, let's see. Yeah, Lightning Bolt does 25 damage for every point of spell damage that you have. And so Ruby cast it one time, probably as she was running away. She probably cast it on, I would say, maybe some Ogre Lords, maybe the Vampire Lords. But she cast it and ran, and in that one instance, I had a 30% chance to learn that spell. And she gave it to me for the first time, I feel like, ever. For the first time ever, that Eagle Eye has come in handy. I'm happy. I'm thrilled. I hope you can tell. I'm very happy with that. It's new week. I don't know if I need to push into Castor's territory there. I think I'll play it a little bit more conservatively. Although that is worth noting that I will re-watch, or rather I will re-listen to my playthroughs, and I will find things that I missed. Things that, you know, in hindsight, I could have or should have done differently, or things that at the time I just missed it because I was too busy talking. That happens a lot, actually. And I play a little bit suboptimally because I'm running my mouth a little bit. But one of the things I've noticed in my playthroughs is that oftentimes I am not being as aggressive as I could be. I'm not being as aggressive as I should be. After scouring the area, I fall upon a hidden chest containing the ancient artifact Holy Pendant. My troops are immune to the curse spells. That'll be useful for the Ogre Lords. Aha! There's my gem mine, and it is guarded by no guardians at all. Okay, I am going to go grab this boat. And Vitania actually will probably get here at about the same time as if she was walking because of her increased movement points. I think Sandra will pick up this gem mine, we'll meet up, and we will hand off these 3 artifacts so that Zom can get even stronger. But that's always the question, I think, really is, well, are we trying to be very, very aggressive, or are we trying to be, you know, conservative, smart? Because if we lose, hey, this is on full display for you. Every loss I've had, it's made it into the recordings. I don't, ooh, observation tower. I don't trim my videos. I don't try to make myself look better than I am. What you see is what you get. From the observation tower, you are able to see distant lands. And this is right in the middle of the map. This is going to be terrific. Let's spend some time. First thing I notice is desert. That's a little concerning because desert. Oh, and looks like there's feet here. Looks like that's where Castor probably is. I'd questioned whether or not this road was going to a town, or whether this was going to a town. I'm guessing that his town is not in the desert. Something just tells me that thematically the dragons will be in the desert, not the dragon guardians. Dragon Watch. Okay. So Gem the hero, Thalagar the hero. I see no dragons on either of them. Folks, this looks like an undefended town that I'm going to take full advantage of before day 1. This is tremendous. Oh my word. Oh my word. So that means then, because this is the first time I've really seen yellow, that there's a Warlock town here, and then this should be a Warlock town up here that Castor was a part of. Is there another hero? Hold on, stop. I've got this. Number of towns, we're all equal on. Number of castles, we are all equal on. Number of heroes, I am red. And so there's 3 heroes on me, 3 heroes on yellow. Orange only has 2. So I killed Ruby, or I ended Ruby's run for Orange. There's one more hero somewhere who's not accounted for, and I don't know where they are. Oh, that's interesting. Look at the road. It just trails off. That's interesting. Okay. Well, I think I need to think about that for a second. So, I assume that Capture Dragon City to win. So this is Dragon Watch. I don't know what the other town is called, but I'm guessing it's either over here or it's over here. And so I'm guessing that there's a town in probably like the upper left corner or maybe in the bottom left corner. And then it's going to, well, probably not bottom left. It looks like it's too close to here. But I'm guessing somewhere in here. And then it'll probably be a town full of dragons that I need to take. And so I better make sure I have a big army. There's sulfur here. There's resources all around. If I can take this town, maybe my goal is not to work on getting Night Shadow into Bone Dragons so much as it is to pump out as many green, red, and black dragons as possible to help me take this final boss of a town. I don't know yet, but first things first is absolutely take out this town and be aware that there's one more yellow hero somewhere that I haven't seen yet. Did I get anything else really revealed to me? No. This observation tower gave me plenty. No regrets. That was an excellent observation tower. I think I'm going to be spending gold on some hard-hitting units, not skeletons. This is one of those times where I'm not going to be building my army around skeletons. I'm happy I have them, but I'm not going to build around them. So I'm going to even save the 1,000 gold for later, for other things. What are you doing? I think the gem is doing that same thing where she's trying to get me to go for her instead of the main town. Aha! And it could absolutely work. It could absolutely work. Because Agar, it looks like, has the main army. And if he gets into this town, I may not capture it. What do I have? I have ballistics, though. That'll be helpful. It's day 7. It's day 7. If I can make him attack me, I'll be in good shape. I'll be in really good shape. Gem, I don't want to let her get behind me, but I can't risk spending the movement points and then not being able to get in here. Agar making himself cozy and making this an impenetrable force that I cannot reckon with. We must take this town while we can, while it's weak, and get in there next turn. Hopefully I have enough movement points to attack and then to move one more spot into the town. Let me just make sure. Okay, this feels good. This feels really good. Do I want the ogres split? What spells do I have? Dispel magic. I think for that reason, I'm going to actually keep the Ogre Lords in one stack, and then I will separate the Vampire Lords. I'll have them on the bottom of the battlefield. I'm actually going to have the, the Ogre Lords in the very middle, so that way, depending on where I open up a hole in the defenses, the Ogre Lords can respond appropriately. But then I'll keep this stack large and in charge, so that way if I need to, I can dispel a whole stack of ogres at a time. So they're not going to get a haste, they're not going to get a bloodlust because it'll fall off with the dispel magic. And the lightning bolt for 75 points of damage, The disrupting ray though, that will probably be useful. Let's see what we got. Let's dilly-dally no longer. Let's fight this battle. And it looks like, by the way, we will have just one sliver of movement points. Perhaps that will be enough to get on into the town and defend it with its bonus. We've immediately opened up the top here. That's fantastic. I'm not so worried about a curse right now. I'm not so worried about a curse. I think that I will haste the Ogre Lords because I've already got room in this main town for me. And then do I stop these shooters? I think if I think these Vampire Lords are going to be good enough to jam up these Centaurs and to kill these shorter stacks. There's just not enough that they have. They can't stop me. Yeah. The biggest threat here is the damage I'm going to be taking from the left turret, the right turret, and the main bastion, the main Bastille. So I'm not too worried about that. Okay, let's press our advantage. We've opened up more holes. I'll move the Ogre Lords into the moat. I don't like that because it did force me to have the reduced defense skill while I'm here in the water. That was a nasty chain lightning. They sacrificed some of their own units, to be sure, but you took out 4 of my Vampire Lords. I don't love that. I do not love that at all. If I'd known they had Chain Lightning, I could have probably done something a little bit different where I clump my units up very tightly up against their units. Suffice to say, though, he's not going to be doing that again with only 2 spell points left. Okay, and we are now officially through. Let's take out the enemy that has no retaliation when they attack. And then let's just end this fight right here without further issue. Yeah, 4 Vampire Lords. I don't love losing that. I guess it might have been best to have kept my Vampire Lords in 1 stack. Yeah. And look, I have just enough movement points. I have 115 movement points, and now I have 40. So, terrific. We are in there, and good luck getting me out of here. There is my Chain Lightning. We did pick up the Lightning Bolt. Dragon Slayer. This is a map all about dragons. We have Dragon Slayer now. I am very, very excited about that. That's terrific. Very excellent AoE damaging spells. The anti-magic, that can't be spoken of enough. In the future, I'll probably cast anti-magic on my ogres instead of the Dispel. Stone Skin, Bloodlust Cure. This is an excellent mage guild. Will I consider trying to push into the 5th level? Probably not. Probably not. The one thing I wish is that I wish that there was already a green tower built, because that 30 ore and that 20 sulfur, that's a pretty high price to pay. There's no additional defenses I can purchase here. I am going to pick up the marketplace now. I don't think I have any purchases I need to make here in Night Shadow. My next big purchase will be the laboratory. Or will it be? Assuming that there's a town in here that's got so many dragons, it will be best, I think, to have maybe a few bone dragons, but mostly focus on the green and the black dragons I can get from 1 2 warlock towns. And maybe there's a third. Maybe there's a third. Maybe there's a 4th. Maybe there's a warlock town. I don't know. Hard to guess. But rather than force build the laboratory for the necromancers, I will instead try and focus on getting as many of the black, green, and red dragons as I can. I am not mad about any of this. And it looks like we will do our warm handoff here with Sandra over here as opposed to up here. And that's just fine. I am aware of Jem. I don't want her to get this observation tower, but here's the thing. Let's look. Number of castles. I have 2. Orange has 1. Yellow has 0. 0 has 7 days from the time I hit in turn to pick up a new town. They are in a very, very bad spot. Now, here's my question. Did Agar not fight this fight because he just doesn't want to fight me in these heavy defenses? Or did he not fight me because this army is just strong enough to defeat him wherever we are? Sometimes the AI can beat you on the open field of battle, but they cannot beat you in an encamped town. I don't know the answer to that. It's a good question. I'm not going to purchase any troops here from the Warlocks because I don't want troops of 3 alignment. My morale is already bad enough. I don't want to make it even worse. Agar, I imagine, will have Chain Lightning, Fire Blast, Cold Ring, Anti-Magic, etc., etc. And so I'm going to actually keep the Vampire Lords kind of in the center, and the Ogre Lords at the bottom. So that way maybe the Vampire Lords will take reduced strikes from that Chain Lightning. I'll keep them here. I think that if I was the enemy, I would Chain Lightning the weakest stack and take out as many skeletons as possible. And knowing that the Ogre Lords, which would you rather have? 70 skeletons or maybe 4 or 5 Ogre Lords? I think that I would Chain Lightning here, and so then the Vampire Lords will take the most reduced damage on this end. Yep, that's the plan. And I'm actually going to split the Royal Mummies. Do I fight this fight? I'm remembering, re-listening, re-watching my videos. I need to be more aggressive. I think that this is one of those times. I just thought to myself, hey, maybe I should roll a dice and let the dice make my decisions. We're not going to do that. Heroes of Might and Magic is not necessarily a luck-based game. This is strategy. This is strategy. We don't just leave things up to luck. Let's take out Agar, because if we do, we can buy another hero that can start purchasing, or it can start going to this silver mine, whatever mine this is. Maybe even 2 heroes. It looks like there's enough, especially since this desert will slow down any enemy heroes going through. We might purchase 2 heroes from this warlock town today. But before we do any of that, we must fight this fight. I feel confident. I feel comfortable. Wow. That is a tremendous amount of losses, but the stack is going to remain. The Ogre Lords are not going to get focused down this fight at all, which is very surprising. Very surprising. Let's see how we can fight this fight. Curse goes out on the Ogre Lords. That will help, but it's not terrific. I think that reduces your overall damage. 2 times 74. I mean, that's some reduced damage, but it's not the most amazing thing I ever saw. Do we Chain Lightning? If I Chain Lightning, it will hit my troops. Is there a better spell? I can do Dragon Slayer. Regardless of what happens, we need to let these green dragons come to us. So let's just kind of keep our troops as clumped as possible. The green dragons are going to go before the skeletons do, so I need to kind of shift my troops up to the top of the battlefield if at all possible. And we will let the enemy, who seems very zealous, we will let them come forward and try and fight us. For example, I don't want these vampire lords to attack these nomads because I don't want the green dragons to try and catch them out on this open battlefield. I think we're just going to move the vampire lords here. Mummies will move up. And the green dragons focus on the skeletons. 30 skeletons, we will have them... Wait a second. Wait a second. Did my skeletons not retaliate? Wait a second. My skeletons didn't retaliate. Why didn't my skeletons retaliate? Am I going crazy? We have 200 hit points left on these green dragons. They got attacked by the green dragons, and now they get no retaliation. What? That's not right. We're going to have to watch that again later. That might be something to kick around with other people. Let's see if there's see what that's all about. Okay, so these Ogre Lords can reach these green dragons. I don't actually know. Greatly increases a unit's attack skill versus dragons. I don't know if, how much this increases the attack skill against dragons. Bloodlust is a +3. Because I'm cursed, that's a less 2 damage. And so it's a little bit of a tough decision here. I'm going to cast Dragon Slayer. Right now I have 12 attack skill. Let's see what I can raise it up to. Fighting dragons. Oh my goodness, this indicates I'm going to take out all 3 green dragons. I should have moused over to see what the damage would have been, because it won't tell me here. Oh my word. Oh my word, folks, this is terrific. Wow. No regrets. No regrets. That was fun to watch. I know I'm going to take heavy losses in this fight, but that was worth the price of admission. Let us anti-magic my important stack. At this point, I only have Royal Mummies left. I'm not saying I want to lose them, but I definitely don't want to incur massive amounts of spell damage. Let's take out as many stacks as we possibly can, lest we lose our retaliation on something silly like that. And then I don't think it matters. I think I'm going to eat that lightning bolt regardless. And then I'm actually going to skip, and then let the Ogre Lords finish off this fight. Yeah, so I didn't do, I don't think, too much better. But having that Dragon Slayer spell, that made me feel so good inside. I appreciated every second of that. I'm glad we got to enjoy that together. Major Scroll of Knowledge, +3 to the knowledge. Wand of Negation, Dispel Magic spell does not work. And then 10 skeletons. That is pretty fantastic. Expert Wisdom. Now I need to consider, do I push for a 5th level Mage Guild? And I think I will. I really think I will. I've got my gems. Gems are coming through. What else am I going to spend gems on? Nothing in here. And maybe the laboratory. I mean, at 5, I can trade for that. Otherwise, I am looking to get 10 gems. So in 7 turns, I'm going to get my 5th level Mage Guild. Maybe I get it a little quicker. Maybe I buy a hero now. So I'll take the person with the fastest troops. I'll leave the halflings at home. And then I will send Wilfrey into the desert. We're not going to pick up the orcs. And then we'll increase our gem production and go from there. Gem did not go towards my town. She just kind of moseyed on into that area. If I can take out both of these enemy heroes, I think I'd like to. Let's pick up the sulfur mine. Because I'm going to be purchasing dragons, that's going to be quite the necessity. Let me use Sandro to cast View Mines. I want to see what this mine just off in the distance is. So that's an ore mine. That's not particularly critical, I think, at this point. I'm not going to purchase another hero just to pick up that ore mine. I think I'm just going to let Wilfrey wander through this desert area. There's a gold mine here. I wonder how heavily that's guarded. I can't hope that every single mine is guarded just by dwarves. But yeah, I think Wilfrey can go here, and maybe he can bounce in and see what's going on there. Well, he'll probably actually go back and, well, he's closer in here. He's already in the desert. Let him just be stuck there forever. And get sand in all of the worst places. All of the worst places. Okay. So Vitania is still doing wonders out here, and we get to the bottle. After a long search of the island, I have discovered that there is no way for me to escape without help. I cannot steal a ship from one of the coastal castles, and I dare not venture into the desert unless I wish to become dragon food. Should anyone find this, I beg of you, please send a ship and get me off this cursed island. Sir Christian. Okay, so I do not venture into the desert unless I wish to become dragon food. I think that tells me an awful lot there. There's desert here and there's desert here. It looks like there's more desert up to the northwest. My assumption is that there's a town up to the northwest. Sandro is specifically standing here at the edge of the water to make this trade happen. Vitania can keep her sprites. And then she might as well... Oh, look at this. Ogres. Terrific. And a lightning helm. Terrific. 10 additional wood. Wow, that's really paid off for itself. I want to make sure there's nothing here in this crevasse. It looks like... So this stretch of land is only this coastal city. Sometimes they hide things in these corners, so I might as well go into the corner just to make sure there's nothing, but I'm guessing it'll probably be nothing. And then no shipyard needed, no purchases. I don't think I'm going to purchase any upgrades. We're just waiting to get these green dragons as quickly as possible. We are already at day 1, so we have 7 turns to pick up the necessary sulfur and ore. And on we go. Okay. I'm gonna let that fight play out there. I think that those losses are acceptable. No, I've got lightning bolt. I've got a little bit of spell power, and I think Zom actually has. I have 9 knowledge. I'm going to want to pick up that magic well that's right here, just right next to Ruby. I'm going to want to pick that up in 1 second anyway. I don't know how much damage I'm going to deal to these hydras. Let's find out. 7 hydras. I guess it did 75 plus 45. So the first bit of lightning did like 130 or something to that effect. I wonder what spells Gem is going to throw at me. Probably is not going to be very fun. Probably not. I imagine that she will repay me in kind. Bless on the hydras. I actually like that. I think that's a good decision there. Maybe Gem, a level 1 sorceress, does not have advanced wisdom. But yeah, I like that. The Bless, going from anywhere between 6 to 12 damage on 6 hydras. I like that Bless spell. I'll take a moment just to plug one fun thing I've been doing. I've been trying to figure out a way to make some entertaining shorter videos. Wow, look at that. Bad morale 2 times in a row. I cannot wait for that Medal of Valor. I've been trying to make some shorter videos that might be interesting, and things like, do I lightning bolt or do I take the Bless? That is a recent short that I posted a little while ago, and I think it kind of highlights the decision making that can go into, you know, well, which is better? And you can do the basic math to figure it out. It's not terrifically terrible, just to kind of do it on the fly. With the Bloodlust, I think I should kill all 6. And we got a Fire Cloak. And 3 skeletons. Okay. Wait. Was that their last hero, though? Yellow player has been vanquished. Terrific. Yeah, that was Yellow's last hero. Let's see. Ruby is more important than a sawmill. Again, I don't think I'm going to need wood for much of anything at this point. Let's pick up this artifact. A traveling tinker in need of supplies offers you a helm with a thunderbolt design on its top in exchange for food and water. Curious, you accept and later find out that the helm is magical. This reduces the damage to my troops that I will take from lightning spells. That is lightning bolt, and that is chain lightning. I do have this ice cloak here now, and the fire cloak. I get this on Zom. Zom is going to be taking a lot of reduced damage. Wait. Half damage from lightning spells, half damage from cold spells, and half damage from fire spells? What's left? All right. So, we'll take the gold here. Sandro has been terrific for me. He's been very terrific. I feel like I need to see what's right here. With 21 ogres, I might be able to defeat some smaller armies. And if I can defeat some smaller armies, that'll be pretty useful for me. Oh. That is interesting. Okay, so we have a lighthouse, which will increase my movement on speed. Why is there a boat? Oh, wait. There was the bottle that was signed by Sir Christian. Are these stone liths going to take me somewhere great? Are these stone liths going to take me to a prison? I don't know if the prison, which is a adventure map doodad, I don't know if that was in the base game or if that was added with the price of loyalty. But if there is a prison, you can recruit a hero who has been imprisoned falsely, and then they will join your forces just from the adventure map. No castle needed. So if there's a Sir Christian, that'll be very interesting to see. Maybe he is a terrifically powerful hero, and then he can lead the final battle against the main town where all of the dragons are. There's a sign here. We'll go get the sign. I don't think that it's likely that there's things stuck in the darkness there. Let's make sure that we get this magic well. Is it worth it to fight these lots of rangers? Well, I'm about to. I can drop some lightning bolts on them. I see the losses, and I will raise you some devastating chain lightnings. Devastating. Okay. So, I'm going to skip the skeletons. They're not even going to get into this fight. And then this top stack of rangers is spoken for. And I'm just going to haste. I'm just going to haste the Ogre Lords. I'll just wait on that one mummy and end the fight there that way. Mostly I fought that fight because the experience is negligible, but the magic well's right here. I'm going to get that in a second anyway. Might as well. Few resources. I'll cast few resources. Looks like there's lots of resources here in the desert, but not many resources down here. Does that mean that Agar and the enemy yellow hero, did they go into the desert and clean all that out? Or does this just mean that there's a lot left to be unexplored? Because we saw Castor in this area. Maybe there's more to be explored there. Okay, and then we have the ore there. Let's go back. Because eventually Sandra is going to want to reunite with Zom. I want to get this observation tower. I'll be kicking myself if there was something right here that I should have gotten before I landed. Valley of the Kings. Ooh, very interesting. A pyramid. Pyramids are very interesting. And hey, look at that. Stone liths. Stone liths. Is there a prison right here? That's a pyramid is a 5th level spell. If you can defeat the guardians, that can be absolutely terrific. So, I mean, neither Wilfrey nor Vitania is going to be able to defeat those enemies, but very interesting. Okay. I do have enough resources to purchase the green tower so I can start working on dragons. That pretty much bankrupts me as far as resources and everything else goes. But the dungeon's giving me an extra 500 gold per day, the statue an extra 250. I'm getting 3,000 gold per day. It's still going to be very expensive, but we'll start working on getting our dragons. If I can get them online, we should be set. Might as well pick up these this extra spell power. I already picked up that fort. It's been a couple of weeks of growth. I better actually stay out of this fog of war. 74 Ogre Lords is terrific, but if they are coming at me with 7 or 8 dragons plus some terrific spells, even though I have anti-magic, I still worry for my Ogre Lords. So let's keep reminding ourselves to be aggressive, but let's also play it cool. Let's be cool. Let's pick up this observation tower. Maybe there's something right there, but I'm guessing probably not. Through a clearing, I observe an ancient artifact. Unfortunately, it is guarded by a nearby phoenix. Do I want to fight the phoenix? I do not. But I will go through these stone liths. And there's phoenixes again. So phoenix is guarding a gold mine, but there's a sphinx. There's a sphinx here as well. I'm guessing that this is the only way you can get into this area. And folks, we see sphinxes so rarely. I have to visit it. I have to visit it. I know we had bad experience in the final scenario of the Roland campaign with sphinxes, but I have to visit that. Note here that there's no way for me to get out. Vitania is stuck unless I do something which I will do next turn. She has only 100 move points. Well, I guess I can do it now. If I hit the space bar, I will reenact with whatever adventure map icon I am on. In this case, it will force me back through portal. So she can't do anything here. I might as well have her load up into the boat, waste a whole nother turn, clear this out, and then I'll just have her land and provide you some flexibility and put a boat there just in case somebody wants to go and do that. That's probably going to be the quickest thing for me, don't you think? To sail quickly across here, go into the stone liths, and then pop out here, get a gold mine, get this pyramid, and then get the Sphinx. That's the goal. Zom was pushing north. We're going to have him go back to the main town, and he will set sail very quickly. That's what we're going to do. It may take us a little bit of time, but time is officially on our side. It's officially on our side because we have dragons that are brewing. We've already thought out our next moves, so I can just hit the little horse icon, and my heroes will press forward on their already pre-designated journeys. No changes. Oh, look. You can get around. Does that change my decision making? How many phoenixes? A pack? With spells, I think that with spells and a few more troops from Night Shadow, I think I can deal with that. This pyramid might be a dud. It might be something lame, but it could be Dimension Door. It could be Town Portal, etc., etc. Let's wait and find out. I guess the next purchase I'd really love to make would be the lab. What am I going to need? I'm just going to need a little bit of ore, so I will wait. But before day 7, I will get bone dragons as well. Vitania is going to cruise across the map. And it's more important to me to have the boat as close as possible. She can spend one day just offshore. Everybody's coming home. It's really nice. Excavation group of skeletons with a desire for greater glory. Wish to join me. Do I accept? No, my boars are a little skittish around the undead. Or so I tell myself. Let's have Zom get to this point in the road. Let's make this trade happen. All these artifacts and the ogres. Well, I suppose that Sandro's job is actually going to be to... Well, Sandro's job is to get out of the way. Let Zom go into the main town. Vitania will drop this. And then Sandro will go and turn those ogres into Ogre Lords. Maybe Sandro will just meet us there. Maybe Sandro will make sure that nothing terrible happens. I don't want to get backdoored while I'm doing this. But the 1,000 gold extra per day could be terrific. 1,000 gold extra a day could be very terrific. It's day 7. We are 1 ore short. We will trade for it. And we will pick up the laboratory at the last possible minute. Okay. I'm feeling good about this one, folks. I am feeling good about this. Oh my goodness, look at that. Ooh, baby. Oh, baby. You want to talk about by the skin of your teeth. You want to talk about fortuitous circumstances arising. The bounty of the earth is flowing ever towards me, and I am grateful. Namaste. +5 bone dragon growth for the town of Night Shadow. All of a sudden, I've got 9 bone dragons here. 9 bone dragons. I'm going to pick up as many of these as I can because they are terrifying. And let's make sure our speed is correct. So nobody under speed of 4. Well, I could... Well, no, because the Ogre Lords are sticking with us. So they are our limiting factor as far as who's going to come along with us. I do want to... Let's let everybody else go real quick. Teleport, excellent spell, especially for Ogre Lords. Let's let other people go just to see if we can... Might as well just go pick up some of these extras. See if we can pick up some extra gold. I don't think we can. And I want Zom to get in the boat. I want Zom to get into the boat. Oof. I made a mistake. I should have kept Vitania nearby so that she could ferry additional troops from the town to Zom, who will be in the boat this term. Is it too late? Yeah, she's pretty far away. Well, she landed there. Nah, she's still pretty far away. I don't think that we can do it. I don't think we can do it. So let's purchase all the troops we can here now by trading resources. Let's not sell out completely. We have some mage guilds that we can upgrade, save all the sulfur we possibly can. But trading for our wood, an extra 3,000 gold, an extra 2 bone dragons. That seems fairly worth it to me. For good measure. 2 skeletons. We will forego the vampire lords. We will forego the liches. I do want Sandro to pick this up now. I don't think he should deviate. And I don't think that Vitania can get there, pick up troops, and load them. She can't even load them now. Why would she be able to pick them up and then go? So she will carry on. And it will take 2 turns. It took Vitania 2 turns anyway, so I don't feel too bad about that. And she's got the basic navigation, or the advanced navigation. Folks, I might have just realized that I might have made a critical error. There are 2 enemies allied against you in this mission. Both are well armed and seek to evict you from their island. Avoid them and capture Dragon City to win. I guess it says nothing about if they capture Dragon City first. Do I just lose if they capture that castle with all the dragons in it? I mean, so long as I eventually capture it, it doesn't matter, right? I'm officially very freaked out by how much time Castor has been in the desert and how little I've seen him. I haven't seen him come back this way. Maybe there's other roads, maybe there's other routes, but I'm officially starting to worry. He's been in there a long time, and that's a little bit scary. I might have made a tactical error. At this point, I've devoted a lot of time to going towards these phoenixes. I don't want to wait. Oh, I just realized Wilfrey is the perfect person to try out this Sphinx. Wilfrey is the perfect person to try out this Sphinx. If Wilfrey answers the question wrong, he gets eaten, and the next hero can come and try the Sphinx and guess the correct answer. So whatever the bonus is, it will go to Zom. Say that the bonus is like 5,000 experience. I want that to go to Zom. If the bonus is a spell, I want that to go to Zom. But Wilfrey can check to see if I know the answer or not. Let's push into this area. I've got, let's see, gold mine, ore mine, mercury, or alchemist lab. Yeah, we'll just push this way. Sandra will pick up this magical garden, but I don't want him to venture off into the uncharted territory. We will have him pick up this stray bit of wood. Alright, there he is. No, that's not him, that's Ruby. Where's their main hero? Who's better, Vitania or Sandro? Sandro is better, and he's got the troops. We're going to send Sandro back. I don't want to lose Night Shadow if at all possible. But I will let Vitania push forward, because I don't mind losing her. I'm going to not pick up this artifact because there might be some better ones later, and I don't want to have to shuffle them. I don't care if I travel fast on water. Pack of Phoenixes. Do I need to make any adjustments? Let's adjust, because I think that this is going to be a brawl. I think that the Phoenixes are, because they go first, because they are very fast, they're going to fly across the battlefield. Let's split our stacks in this way. I don't know who the Phoenixes are going to go after first, but let's split the Ogres. Well, let's split them like that. So that way, if the Bone Dragons get focused, we can jump on them. And if the Skeletons get jumped on, which I think is more likely than the Royal Mummies, then the Ogres can respond that way. Let's fight this fight. Wow, 4 Bone Dragons. That is a hefty, hefty loss. Look how many Phoenixes this is. Oh my goodness, 4, 8, 12, 16 Phoenixes. My word. My word. So the Bone Dragons have taken some nasty punishment, and I imagine that they will continue to do so. Let us... Do we do the offensive spell? No, 50 damage isn't going to do much. Neither's 125. I don't want to blast my troops here. I can't haste, so I go first next time. I think that either a Disrupting Ray or a Stone Skin, I think that if we Stone Skin the Bone Dragons, that'll be the best. I'm going to lose a lot of Bone Dragons, and that makes me very sad. We will have these Royal Mummies take this retaliation from these Phoenixes and let this stack demolish 2 or 3. Thankfully it was 3. 2 or 3. Have my troops just not been retaliating? Am I going crazy? How are there these stacks and they all have full hit points left? Did the Bone Dragons not retaliate once? Hold on. Okay, turn 1. Phoenixes do 106. Bone Dragons do 435 damage and 4 Phoenixes perished. Oh, right here you can see just the little trail of where a group of 4 Phoenixes lay prior. Okay, I feel much better now. I was losing my mind. I was absolutely losing my mind for a second there. 2 to 3. 2 to 3. Let's see if we can kill this stack of 2 to 3. We do. And I think that did save us, that Stone Skin. I think that saved us 1 additional Bone Dragon. It was close either way. Let's try and... That whole stack goes down. That whole stack goes down. Yeah, I don't think that there was a whole lot you can do to change that fight up, because the speed of the Phoenixes is so fast. You're just going to end up taking some hits. But we saved 1 Bone Dragon. That's okay. Take the Ballistics. And for that, we get a gold mine and we get access to this pyramid. I will... It doesn't matter to me when Wilfrey does this Sphinx, just so long as he does it fairly quickly. And so let's have him get the gold mine, and so then Zom doesn't have to waste all of his movement points to get into this pyramid. You come across the pyramid of a great and ancient king. You are tempted to search it for treasure, but all the old stories warn of fearful curses and undead guardians. Will you search? Yes, I will. I don't want to lose that Bone Dragon, and I don't think I have to. If I don't fly across the battlefield recklessly, I think I will be just fine. I'm just going to Chain Lightning the top stack of Vampire Lords because it feels satisfying. Very satisfying indeed. Okay, and I still have 74 hit points there. I'm going to let the 5 skeletons take the retaliation and just die. I think that, yeah, 7 to 10, I might kill this whole stack. Ooh, that is satisfying. And then these Bone Dragons, 8 to 10 of these Royal Mummies. No problem. No problem. Yeah, this feels much better than losing 1 Bone Dragon. Much better. Okay. And for my trouble, I get back a few skeletons. Town Portal. Town Portal, which is the upgraded version of the Town Gate spell. Town Gate will transport you to the nearest town. Town Portal will take you to the town that you control of your choice. Especially because we are, again, stuck in the desert. I'm very, very happy with that. I do need to probably pick up this Sphinx because Wilfrey, I'm planning on losing him one way or the other. But in the meantime, Let's press on. Red Tower, that will be important to pick up. Ooh, or the Mage Guild. The dragons are accruing regardless. Let's pick up the Mage Guild, because this 5th level spell, even though we're fighting dragons and an offensive spell won't be very helpful, maybe we'll have an excellent navigation spell. Dimension Door. GG, game's over. No problem. No problem. I totally dropped my phone on the ground. That's okay. That's okay. It's hardy. It's hardy. Oh boy. We just blew the doors right off this game, folks. Sphinx, I have a riddle for you. The Sphinx says, answer correctly and you shall be rewarded. Answer incorrectly and you shall be eaten. Do you accept the challenge? Yes, I do. The Sphinx asks you the following riddle. What is time spent poorly? What is time spent poorly? The initial thought that comes to my mind is wasted. I mean, if you spend time poorly, you're just wasting it. I don't know the answer to this one. I do not know the answer to this one. The Sphinx asks you the following riddle. What is time spent poorly? And I don't think that wasted is the right answer. I'm not going to spend 15 minutes here like Bilbo talking to Gollum or Smeagol and trying to decipher this riddle. I am going to guess wasted, and if I get it correctly, wonderful. Otherwise, I'm not going to risk my main hero. Sphinx, looking somewhat disappointed, the Sphinx sighs. You've answered my riddle, so here's your reward. Now be gone. So as you saw, I typed in the answer, wasted, W-A-S-T-E-D. That was one of the accepted answers. Maybe it was the only answer. And for my trouble, I get the Nomad's Boots of Mobility. Folks, we just blew the doors right off of this game. We are doing pretty well. I am thrilled with the turn of events that has happened. Another enemy hero, Ector and Ruby. Ector's got dragons. Where did Castor go? Did Castor try and fail to end the game? I don't know. Let's town portal over to Dragon Watch with our mini prizes. Pick up the Dimension Door. And will I wait to pick up these dragons? I will, because upgrading dragons is very expensive. It's very expensive, and I don't think that I need to waste 4 dragons. I think that this army will be strong enough to take on whatever these individuals throw at me. I have 53 spell points. Dimension Door costs 10 spell points per turn. I don't know if Orange has gone this way, and if they are close enough to me to know that there's this town here that my main hero just magically teleported to or not. So let's stay on the road, be conservative, and then we can more or less spring our trap. Traveling on the road is probably just about as efficient. Knowing that there's this magic well, it's probably just about as efficient as it would be to Dimension Door at this point. I don't think I need to... I want Sandro to stay within striking distance of meeting up with Zom. I don't think Ruby can reach him here. I could be wrong. If so, and I lose Sandro, so be it. I will, just in case, though, I'll split these ogres into stacks. That was a very fun turn. I liked every second of that. Is that him? There he is. There's that ugly, ugly man. A few dragons, a few dragons. I don't think splitting your armies at this point is a good idea at all. I think this is one of those times where this hero, Ector, and this hero, Ruby, should have 1 centaur each. Truly. Okay, the goal is to get to this magic well. We can walk there, but why don't we just Dimension Door? If you haven't seen this before, this is what the field looks like. This was the original window that you could see at any given point of time. Of course, it was blown up. The resolution was different, but this was all of the map you could ever see at any one point prior to the FHeroes edition. And I can't go back. I cannot go back. For a few instances, I've used the map editor on the original Heroes of Might and Magic Gold edition I got from Good Old Games. I can't go back. The map is too small. It's too cramped. The resolution is a massive upgrade. It is game changing. I don't get tired of Heroes like I once did. You play for 3-4 hours and then you're just done. That doesn't happen anymore. Does not happen anymore. We have 34 spell points. Let's go up to 100. And let's take out... We can take out all these enemies because we're going to Dimension Door, Dimension Door, Dimension Door. Let's start off with the biggest threat first. And do I need to split my stacks at all? No, I think that anti-magic on the Ogre Lords and otherwise the Bone Dragons cleaning up, I think that that's going to be our ticket to success. Wow, 5 Bone Dragons will supposedly be lost. Let's see if we can change that. Oh. Oh, no, that wasn't that bad. No, that wasn't so bad at all. Holy Shout does 300 damage. I mean, that wasn't terrific for me, but that wasn't the worst thing that's ever happened to me. Let's anti-magic. Let's anti-magic the Bone Dragons. I would love to keep this stack of Ogre Lords healthy. Well, I don't think that that's my priority at this point. They're going to stay healthy anyway. I really think that they'll stay healthy regardless of what I do. Let's avoid the Flame Breath attack. Let's not stack. Negative morale. Terrific. These peasants are an easy pick off. There's this terrain in the middle of the way. I was really planning on these dragons having to fly across the battlefield. That actually ruined my plans because I don't feel comfortable pushing forward to any of these 3 units because I don't know for sure if the Ogre Lords will be able to reach next time. I do want to anti-magic the Ogre Lords as well. I think that, yeah, 5 spell power. Well, 8 attack. It may be more important to just get the Ogre Lords into the fight. But next turn, they're going to go after Minotaur Kings and Nomads. Let's take out their slowest stack. This is their last chance to run. Let's take out their last chance to run. We'll take some terrible, terrible losses there. And I'm going to haste my Ogre Lords now. And I will work on the Minotaur Kings because the Minotaur Kings are the ones that are blessed. But then I grouped my stacks. That was actually a bad idea. That was a poor decision. And despite my best efforts, I've absolutely lost all my Bone Dragons. However, in this instance, the enemy does not get to run. And that is worth every penny. I'm hoping for some artifacts here. Let's see what we get. Power Axe of Dominion, +2 attack. Kinetic Pendant, no more paralyze. 37 skeletons. Absolutely worth it. We'll take the Mysticism, because why not? We still have 80 spell points. We still have 925 movement points. And we still have slots for 2 additional artifacts. Let's go on to the next here. Ekdor. I'm going to accept those losses. He has fled. I think that that's fine. And through Eagle Eye for the 2nd time, Zom is able to learn a magic spell. This time, Bless. And Steel Skin? Am I going crazy? Folks, have I been dunking on the secondary skill Eagle Eye as if it's the worst thing in the world, when really it's like low-key underrated? Maybe it's low-key broken? Is that going to be the gotcha thumbnail for this video? Eagle Eye comes in clutch. You can't stop it. Underrated? OP? No, we're not going to do any clickbait here. If you're here, it's not because of clickbait. But if you are here, I appreciate you being here. And then the enemy has fled here with minimal losses as well. Okay. I believe that we absolutely just broke the enemy's back here. We're going to get Expert Eagle Eye. We're gonna give ourselves that 40% chance moving forward. But I think we just broke the enemy's back, and now I think that we are going to 60. Okay, it's day 6. Is our castle here or is it here? I'm guessing that this road ends in the desert. I'm guessing that this road will end in the desert too. So I'm guessing that their town is maybe up here with Dimension Door here to the Magic Well next, or this turn. I think I can get there. I will drop off these extra Ogre Lords. But I think with that army, I don't think that they will have many defenders able to stop me from my plans of conquest. Wilfrey is surprisingly still alive. I did not anticipate that at all. Let's pick up our spell points from the Magic Well. Let's drop off all of these ogres. And let's bid Zom farewell. And because I have so many spell points, it will be more efficient for me to Dimension Door rather than walk. Well, I think you can see. Yep, and I've walked right into their town. They picked up Hector. He was the only one that was able to really run and get away from me. And the enemy, I think that this is their final go. I am going to split my stacks of ogres. I think that the main thing I need to worry about is the damage from the towers, and that won't impact whether or not I should split my stacks. By splitting the stacks, I should have a little bit more flexibility. Hector shouldn't be able to cast too many spells. This should be a pretty easy win, and I'm not even going to fight this. This is probably going to be the end of our combatant orange, but I'm not going to fight their final battle. I don't have the time. I'm not going to bore you. 618 experience, Serenity Pendant, so no Berserk, Telescope, 1 extra adventuring map square, and then orange player has been vanquished. Okay, great. No more room for artifacts. I'll probably want to get another hero over there who can lighten the load, take some of the less useful artifacts away. That was nice actually right there. Did you see that? I picked up a lot of ore. All of a sudden I've got 17 ore, whereas before I had pretty much none. That's fantastic. Because, aha, they have built my green dragons for me. It's very thoughtful of them. Do I get a 5th level mage guild here? I don't know what 5th level spell I would want. What 5th level spell would I even want? I think I just focus on my might at this point. I think I focus on dragons, and I don't think I worry about that because I have Dimension Door already anyway. Who cares? Who cares what else is going on? I'm going to do something funky here. I'm going to pick up the fastest unit I can, which is the Gargoyle. And I'm actually going to leave all these troops here. Why? Because I think I'm going to come back anyway, and I'm just going to use Zom to do some advanced scouting. So long as I save 20 spell points for me, that'll be 6 dimension doors just to do some exploring. Do I explore this way? That's a lot of map that's just empty. Do I explore this way? I think I explore this way. I'm going to pick up all of the gargoyles for this reason. If you accidentally Dimension Door right on top of somebody, I don't know if you immediately fight them one way or the other, and it would be a terrible loss to just simply lose my main hero because I accidentally teleported right on top of someone. I'm going to Dimension Door right on top of this mercenary camp. You've come across a mercenary camp practicing their tactics. The mercenaries welcome you and your troops and invite you to train with them, +1 to the attack skill. And we still have 4 dimension doors to cast. Let's get over this mountain range. More hill fort tactics. There's a magic well. We will have plenty of movement. After regular growth, the population of gargoyles is doubled. Oh my word. So now there's gargoyles littering the map. Here. I say littering and then they lie to me. Here. Yeah, I'm sure I'll find some more. Okay, let's... Oh, here, just in the bushes. I'm not going to pick up this gazebo now, just because they did that. Let's get the spell points from the magic well. And maybe there's somewhere I can teleport right into there? No, I cannot. Let's just explore this. If there's some really good artifacts, if there's some good... Like this artifact here, it's just dwarves guarding it. And then I'll get the +1 morale. Oh, but my hero's still full. And you cannot drop artifacts. I'll have to go back for that. But the +1 morale, I think, is actually pretty terrific. Ooh, wonderful. Wonderful! Okay, so I can't... I mean, there's nothing to see in the Oracle. Because it's just me. And I can't get through these liches. That +1 to defense is not terrifically important. This looks like just marsh, and that makes me feel a lot better. Yeah, trees and dead trees. That makes me feel better. Let me just make sure there's nothing right here. Whoop. Oh! Okay, so if you teleport right next to an enemy, you can actually sneak right by them. Look at this! Look at this! Oh, you cannot pick up this artifact. You already have a full load. Oh. But look, the cavalries are guarding this, but they're not guarding it very well. So that's a new mechanic that we... let's jot that down, and let's abuse that to our heart's content. It's not abuse. It's just we're being very, very specific with what we have going on. And we're being tactful. We're using our tactics. Dragon Hill and Dragon Watch. And purchases to make in both towns. Red tower, green tower. So it'll take 5,000 gold and 10 sulfur to upgrade. I think I'm going to need to explore into the desert with Dimension Door to see if I'm going to need to upgrade this red tower into a black tower and upgrade this green tower into a black tower. Because here's the deal. You're upgrading these green dragons twice, from green to red and then red to green. You can sometimes get away with that by just having one town's upgraded dwelling there. But that's going to be very expensive. I don't think that that'll be very cost efficient. But the breakpoint is, what's the breakpoint? It's 500 gold to upgrade a green dragon to a red dragon, and then 500 gold to upgrade a red dragon to a black dragon, plus 1 sulfur. So that's going to be 1,000 gold per dragon from green to red, and then 1,000 gold from red to green. Yeah, so then the breakpoint is what, 2,000? So 2.5. So 5. It's 5 dragons. If you are going to upgrade less than 5 green dragons into black dragons, then it makes never mind to just get the 1 black tower instead of 2 black towers. Otherwise, if you're going to be upgrading more than 5 green dragons, it's worth it to spend the 5,000 gold twice to upgrade the second town, because you will save more money in the long run. Yep, okay, that's my answer. That tells me everything I need to know there. Okay, let's return to Dragon Hill via Town Gate. Wait, what? Oh, I guess I have Town Gate. I meant to Town Portal, but I have Town Gate as well, so that's fine. How many spell points do I have left? 60. I'm out of movement points. I will wait here for the rest of the day. But that will give me just enough time for... Sandro can't get through because there's lots of gargoyles. You dog. We'll go as far as we can. Pick up the rest of these resources. More gems. Terrific. Wait. Minotaurs? We're not going to fight Minotaurs. We're going to have to go the long way. Looks like there's... I don't know if there's something in the desert there, but let's pick up these loose resources here. I feel like because there's no actual enemy that we're dealing with right now, there's no orange, there's no yellow. Basically now we're fighting whatever's in the darkness. We're fighting this Dragon City. You know, we have Dragon Hill, we have Dragon Watch, and now Dragon City somewhere in here. That is our real combatant now. And I'm guessing that there's some pretty crazy stacks of dragons that we're going to have to deal with. If I had to guess, that's what I would guess. I'll spend... Oh. I needed to stock up and I did not. I'll spend the movement points walking, just because I'll wish I had those spell points later, or those movement points later. Dispel magic will not be important against just dragons. There's not going to be any spells. Dragons don't cast spells. Well, maybe they'll have a captain in their town. Maybe not. I don't think that it'll be that impactful. Statesman's Quill, not very important. See? Telescope will keep. There's not going to be any Berserk spell. We might come across Cyclopses, and I think I'll have plenty of room. This looks like a pretty good smattering. Movement. +1 defense, plus movement, +1 morale. I do think that that's worth it to spend. It'll probably take me 2 turns to pick all that up. Let's just do that real quick. And now we are doing that thing I talked about earlier. After saving a young boy from a vicious pack of wolves, you return him to his father's manor. The grateful nobleman awards you with a Medal of Courage +1 to morale. I'm doing what I talked about earlier, where what's the one reason why you wouldn't want to do this side quest, this side scenario? Well, the time spent could ultimately affect your bottom line, your final score when all is said and done. We're already at month 2, week 1, and no end in sight. Maybe I'm not being aggressive enough. It could be. I'm not going to pick up the crystal. There's no need for it. I have my goal, and my goal is, let's see, pick up this free. Extra movement. An old man claiming to be an inventor asks you to try his latest invention, he then hands you a compass. And then I'm also going to pick up this artifact here. A glint of golden light catches your eye. Upon further investigation, you find a golden helm hidden under a bush. +1 defense. Might as well take that. We need about 1,600 experience left. We're going to end up here in Dragon Hill. And we might as well stay the night and replenish our spell points. We'll see if Sandro can get any advanced knowledge on what we will find there in the desert. I don't need to stop there in that town. There's no point. There's no purpose. And Wilfrey is just in the desert. In fact, I'm going to do Wilfrey now because I don't want to talk about Wilfrey ever again. If you hear me talk about Wilfrey ever again, you need to remind me that we don't talk about inconsequential things here. This is a very serious game. And there's no time for chit-chat about things that don't really matter. Right now, this is just our exploratory campaign. This is just us trying to figure out what's out here in the desert. So I'll ignore that. Ooh, I'll pick up the shrine. View heroes. Huh. That's perfect for us. I'll probably come back and I'll pick up this tree of knowledge. It looks like this alchemist lab was probably flagged at some point by Castor. Looks like I can go that far. Ooh, ogres. We're going to pick up these. The ogres recognize me and they join me. That's an extra 20. Red dragons and an artifact. What's this? What? Oh! 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 Folks, I messed up. Oh my goodness, you're kidding me. We're gonna end this fight in like, oh, we're gonna end this fight very quickly. My bad. Okay. Okay. I thought Dragon Watch, Dragon Hill, Dragon City. Yeah, there is no town. It's just a Dragon City. And the Dragon City is very easy to conquer. I was worried I was going to run into stacks of like 50 black dragons at this town. None of my other heroes need to move. We have found our objective. There's no other reason for us to be wandering about. And I'm not even going to... I could purchase the Black Tower. I'm not going to upgrade... I'm not going to upgrade both of these. Actually, you know what? The sulfur is the problem. And for the reason of sulfur, I want to make sure I have plenty of resources. Let's sell out. Oops, that might have been a mistake. Nope, I can still get the red tower. I do want the red tower here, because that will save me a terrific amount of gold as I'm purchasing dragons and moving them around. The rest is going to go into sulfur, though. I just needed to make sure I had enough ore to make that happen. So we have 18 sulfur to play with. There are these fine red dragons. Let's go to Night Shadow. No. I've only got 9k gold left. Let's Dimension Door our way across so we can get these Ogre Lords upgraded. Looks like there's some gargoyles. I need a little bit more experience. I need... yeah, like 400 more experience. Let's fight a couple of these critters. There's 200. I need one more pack of gargoyles to fight, or these liches. Let's do that. Before I forget, let me get these dwarves, or these ogres upgraded. And then I might as well end my turn in Night Shadow, because I'm going to want to pick up at least a couple bone dragons, because one of the best things to do against dragons, you can't cast any spells on them, but you can affect their morale, as we've already seen in this game. Negative morale can absolutely affect them. Bone dragons, yeah, they put off negative morale. That's just a side effect of them being them. So we can maybe mitigate some otherwise terrific losses just by not having to deal with every single turn of damage from the enemy here. Dragons, bone dragons, ogre lords. We're mixing troop types, but now we have +1 morale, +1 morale, and that gives us neutral. Terrific. Let's go into Dragon Hill. And if we have money, which I hope we will be upgrading. Yes, yes. Okay, so it's 1,000 gold and 14 sulfur to upgrade these red dragons. I have it. Is it worth it just to buy 2 black dragons? What do you want? Do you want 7 black dragons, or do you want 7 red dragons and 2 black dragons? I don't think it matters. I think if it was 50 dragons we were going to fight, I think that we would want to press our advantage. The upgrade between black and red dragons is great. What are you losing out on? It's 50 damage or 50 hit points. It's +1 attack, +1 defense from red to black, and it's +1 speed. I think that I will manage without that. Let's... Ooh, this is going to be terrific. Watch this. We're going to pick up these gargoyles. We're going to pick up the basic pathfinding because we got +1 attack skill, and then we'll pay whatever it takes for this Tree of Knowledge. Oh, I need 2,000 gold. It'll take 2,000 gold to make that happen. We're not going to go that route. We are just going to press forward. I think if I move a little bit closer, I don't know how valuable spells will be. I will exit this. I don't know if I lose the spell points, if I have to cancel the spell or not. But however many spell points I can save, the better. So I have gone past. I've gone past. Maybe there's dragons there. I don't know, actually. I'm just guessing. Yep, I'm guessing that the Dragon City fight is not particularly tough, but you'd have to go through several red dragons, several black dragons. Maybe you can go through this way. Maybe you'd find something similar. But month 2, week 1, day 6. Folks, before we hit week 2 of month 2, we're going to end this thing. Let's end this thing in style. You stand before the Dragon City, a place off limits to mere humans. Do you wish to violate this rule and challenge the dragons to a fight? In the name of Archibald, the true king, here I come. We're going to fight this battle. Yeah, just so you can see, 2, 4, 6 green dragons, 2 red dragons, 2 black dragons. This shouldn't be a fight at all. Turn order is going to be a little wonky. I don't know what unit they're going to focus on. I would probably focus on the red dragons myself. Actually, I'd probably focus on the bone dragons. 25 to 45 damage a piece. Yeah, that's pretty significant, and you can kill more of them because their hit points are so much less. So I will focus on black dragons on black dragons. And I was right, they do focus on my dragons there. As you notice, if I attack in this kind of downward angle, then I can convince the enemy to attack with their flame breath down or up. Unless I kill the whole stack, in which case it's a moot point. Alright, the bone dragons have taken some terrific hits. This seems a little strange to me, but let's cast Dragon Slayer on my bone dragons. Oh, I didn't do it again. I meant to check to see what the damage differences would be. It's not too late. We're gonna find out. It'll be on the Ogre Lords. But before all this is done, we're gonna see how big of a difference that makes. Okay. So let's do a little bit of research here. And for that purpose, I'm going to... I think I just need to get to the Ogre Lord's turn. So... Okay. So right now, the Ogre Lords will do 651 to 911 damage. Or... 883 to 1236. So the floor is increased by about 200. Is that just a flat 200 extra damage across the board? Is that what it is? And what would that be? 200 damage out of 800. I mean, that's 25%. So I'm doing, I guess that's got to be at least an additional 3 attack skill minimum, because that's 30% bonus damage. I'll check the wiki. I'll check the wiki later. But as we can see, we went from about 600 points of damage on the floor up to 8 or almost 900. So more than that. Maybe this is a +4 when you do the attack skill. I can't wait to find out. We'll find out though. Folks, that's the fight. 2 bone dragons lost, 4 skeletons, 2,300 combat experience. Having defeated the dragon champions, the city's leader agreed to supply me with dragons for my army. Do I wish to recruit them? I will, but not right now, because I have claimed victory. Dragon City has fallen. I am now the master of dragons. Ha 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 ha. I feel so evil. Isn't it wonderful? Looks like we have this beautiful green dragon here that we will get to see in our next intro. But otherwise, folks, we did our detour for Scenario 7. It was well worth it. I had a ton of fun, and now we've picked up a new award. I'm going to keep you in suspense. We are not going to see exactly what that Dragon Alliance will do for us. You'll have to wait until next time for Scenario 8. Folks, I appreciate you being with me. Thanks for all your support. My name is FixFox, and I'm out.